The time is now 9 a.m. The date is May the 6th, 2025. We will call to order for the meeting for the City of Statesboro's Mayor and Council. We will have our invocation and pledge of allegiance by Councilmember Tangi Johnson.
Let us bow down. Most heavenly and gracious Father, Lord, first and foremost, we say thank you. We thank you for this morning. We thank you for our safe travels. That God, we ask the Heavenly Father, as we go into this meeting, that we come on like minds and one accord. We ask the Heavenly Father that we keep the heart of this city in our thoughts and our prayers, and we ask the Heavenly Father, as we begin to move forward, that it be your vision that we come into manifestation of. Lord, we just want to say we thank you, we love you, and we praise you. In your Son Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move down to agenda item 3, recognitions and public presentations. Our agenda item 3A is a presentation of a proclamation recognizing the month of May as Mental Health Awareness Month. We want to read that proclamation. That proclamation reads as follows. A proclamation by the Mayor and City Council of Statesboro, Georgia. Mental Health Awareness Month. Whereas mental health is an essential element to everyone's overall health and well-being, which impacts children, youth, adults, seniors, and families in Statesboro. And whereas while people experience stress and difficulty in their lives, 1 in 5 adults in America faces extreme mental health challenges each year. And whereas over 10% of adults have serious mental health conditions that impact their daily life, and whereas suicide is the second leading cause of death for people aged 10 to 34. And whereas 60% of adults don't get treatment for their mental illness due to high costs or lack of providers. And whereas stigma surrounding mental health can cause fewer people to seek out treatments and create harmful social isolation. And now, therefore, I, Jonathan McCullough, Mayor of the City of Statesboro, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2025 as the Mental Health Awareness Month, and call upon all citizens, community agencies, faith groups, medical facilities, elected leaders, and businesses to 1, educate themselves and others about mental health conditions, treatment, and resources in our community. 2, challenge stigma surrounding mental health. 3, see and help to their struggle with mental health and encourage others to do the same. 4, create safe and supportive environments to encourage open conversations about mental health. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city to be affixed this 6th day of Mayor. Signed, Mayor Jonathan McCullough. And our representative. I can just say a word.
Okay. Let me grab my little thing.
Grab your stuff.
Pardon?
All right.
Did you want to say something?
Yes. Well, you say something.
Oh, boy. What do you want to talk about? Yes, I know. All right. Thank y'all for bearing with us real quick. My name is Sarah Rufus, and I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator for Vineland Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. I'm here with my colleague, Ginger Webb, the manager at Bullock Counseling Center. As you may know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and mental health is an essential element to everyone's overall health and well-being, but unfortunately, due to stigma and lack of resources, it tends to be neglected in our communities. In Georgia, approximately 336,000 adults have serious mental illness. It is important to note that serious mental illnesses are defined as a mental, behavioral, or emotional disorder that results in serious functional impairment, which substantially interferes with or limits one or more major life activities. This includes more common mental health conditions that we tend to brush off, like depression and anxiety. In recent years, about 44% of adults in Georgia reported symptoms of anxiety or depression. The severity ranges, but in 2021, 1,659 lives were lost in Georgia due to suicide. Closer to home, in our region, designated by the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities, we lost 217 people to suicide, which, once adjusted for population, was the highest death rate among people 25 to 64 years old in the state. 1 in 6 U.S. youth aged 6 to 17 experience a mental health disorder each year, and 104,000 Georgia youth ages 12 to 17 have diagnosed depression. The effect a lack of mental health awareness has on our community cannot be overstated. Mental health affects everything from graduation rates, crime rates, and employment. However, I do not want to stand before you and make you feel hopeless about our community's mental health. While we do face challenges like stigma, lack of mental health care providers, cost, and the practical realities of living today, there have been tangible efforts made recently to address these challenges. The recent implementation of 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, has provided free anonymous support to our community. The highest rate of use is in our rural communities, particularly South Georgia. Many judicial circuits are also implementing mental health courts, where mandated affordable treatment is an alternative to imprisonment. Bullock County belongs to one of those circuits. This, combined with growing community conversations about mental health in our schools, faith organizations, and local governments, proves that we are ready to stand together and address mental health. My organization, Pineland BHDB, a Georgia Community Service Board dedicated to providing low-cost mental health services, formally asked that the City of Statesboro proclaim Mental Health Awareness Month. So thank you. The hope of this proclamation is to bring together all citizens, faith groups, medical facilities, elected leaders, and businesses together in order to create a supportive environment for those in our community who struggle with their mental health. Mental health care starts in the community, and no one can help themselves without support. I appreciate you all taking the time to listen to me today, and thank you for declaring May Mental Health Awareness Month.
Thank you. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Sorry. I was glad.
I had a prepared statement, but it looked like everybody pretty much said what I wanted to say. I do want to introduce myself as the new site manager of Bullock Counseling Center. We've gone through a lot of changes and we're trying really hard to get quality mental health into the community. So I really would like to thank the members of the community. Green is the color of Mental Health Awareness Month. So we do have some bows and things we're going to be passing out around the community. If you want to make your own, that would be fantastic. I just really want to thank Bullock County for joining in our fight for quality health care.
Thank you. This is the part where Lane tells us what to do.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we'll have the city council.
Now, can I put them in the middle? Here you go, come on. You grab one side, and I'm gonna pop out.
That bottle of water behind.
Yeah.
Push the mic. Push the mic down.
I
Yeah,
never
push
was
the
in
mic down. What I did?
Yeah.
Where to call people? I know.
I know, right?
Like I should say, perfectly reasonable.
Okay. Ready, 1, 2, 3. My camera just died. Let me take it on my
That's how it
goes. Sorry about
I just don't feel like we can do it.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank y'all so much.
Yes, ma'am, I'm.
Oh, yes, I just put it right on.
That's right down the road.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you got the right program now.
Oh, okay, good, you're right there. Right there.
Thank you. I don't think it's missed on us the importance of mental health within our community. I think we all can testify that we've had families and friends to have to struggle with that. So thank you guys so much for the work that you do. Please know it is greatly appreciated within our community.
We're gonna move down to agenda item 3B, presentation of a proclamation recognizing Love's Child Care Services for their 35 years of dedicated service in the city of Statesboro. And I'm gonna share a memory with you. This is why this is important. And I know Ronald Love and Eric Love, they're gonna remember this name. Sitting on the bus on the way to school, we was in high school, I think 10th grade. And Jason Harrison looked over at me and said, "You know your little mama opened up that day." That was 35 years ago. And you guys have been going strong ever since. And so we thought it was important to recognize this, because this is a feat for a business to be in, to operate for 35 years. But one of the things that we've studied is how much childcare is needed in our community right now. And so we definitely want to give you your flowers while we still have the opportunity. So we want to read our proclamation for you. A proclamation by the Mayor and City Council of Statesboro, Georgia, recognizing Love's Child Care Services for 35 years of business. Whereas child care business in our community provides essential services to families, enabling parents to work while ensuring the safety, well-being, and development of our children. And whereas the dedicated staff of child care businesses are passionate, caring, and dedicated to providing nurturing, learning environments for our children, helping them to develop socially, emotionally, and intellectually. And whereas the city of Statesboro recognizes the invaluable contributions of child care providers in our community, and whereas the city of Statesboro is committed to promoting high-quality early child care education and health care, and child care, and whereas it is fitting that we recognize and celebrate the contributions of child care businesses and their staff, and whereas Love's Child Care Services has provided these crucial services to the citizens of Statesboro and the surrounding community for over 3 decades. Now, therefore, I, Jonathan McCullough, recognize and celebrate Love's Child Care Services for 35 years of dedicated service in the city of Statesboro. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city to be affixed this 6th day of May, 2025. Signed, Mayor Jonathan McCullough.
First, I'd like to say good morning and thank you. I'm honored to accept this award and grateful for all the opportunities and the people around me for their love and support. And especially this community and our surrounding communities. Thank you, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good family. Come on now.
Oh, it's fine.
Come here, come here. We need to like take some shine. You doing Blaze?
1, 2, 3.
Hold on, don't move. Okay. Hold on, everybody get your picture?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hold on.
He said no one more.
Smile, Tom.
Yeah.
That's right. Here we go. And so do you want to bring council in? Yeah, council. Council. Are you gonna do family first or council?
Let's get the family in first, Mayor.
All right, family. We're gonna switch places. So let's work. Come on. I'm working on my height. I'm just saying right there. Yeah, I'm trying to show you this height. This ain't 901 no more.
1, 2,
Wait a minute.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
How about that, everybody? Let's bring in council in. So you gonna bring council in?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, council.
You want us to be in
We
the
can
two?
add them after y'all take it, and then we'll add the family.
Okay.
Here we go. I'll fill in the gap.
Congratulations.
There we go.
One, two, three.
Hold on,
One more. 1, 2, 3.
hold on.
Family back with us?
Let's put the family back in. Yeah, the family. Shoulder to shoulder. That's not awful, but we need one of those. Want me to move like me? This one is off. Yeah.
Go over there.
Yeah. They let me break.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Can you just straighten that up?
Right, the picture of Tell me what to do.
Oh, sorry, Mardell. We'll do one more. 1, 2, 3. That's good.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We start doing as good as you were last
The appraisal, well.
Since they won't go down on the rate, somebody has to refinance it.
I know it, yeah. Some things help. It's good to see you.
All right, y'all take care.
Thank
All right.
All right.
You just feel.
All right, we want to move down to agenda item 4, public comments. Do we have any public comments in regards to the agenda? Leah? Okay. We move down to agenda item 5, consideration of a motion to approve the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of the approval minutes for our work session on 4/15, our work council members, our minutes on the same day, and our executive session on the same day. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right, we're gonna move down to agenda item 6, public hearing, consideration of a motion to approve the application for an alcohol license in accordance with the City of Statesboro Alcohol Ordinance Section 6-13. PSH Stadium owners Darren Van Tassel and Nitro Van Tassel, located at 2704 Old Register Road, license type event venue. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, is there anyone here to speak for this request?
And I'll recuse myself.
Is there anyone to speak against this request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, please note the record that Councilmember Kennedy has, removed herself from that.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move to agenda item 7, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2025-07, a resolution to adopt the third amendment of the fiscal year 2025 budget for each fund of the City of Statesboro, Georgia, appropriating the amounts shown in each budget as expenditures and expenses, adopting the several items of revenue anticipations, and prohibiting expenditures or expenses from exceeding the actual funding appropriated. Mr. Penny, if you'll give us a little bit of insight on that.
Mayor, members of the council, during the course of the year, you have some certain adjustments to our budget. An example is under the budget amendment, and this is good news. Our revenue for builder permits came in $285,000 higher, so we need to amend that budget to reflect the increased revenue. And just various things. The one thing I want to call to your attention, and it's under ARPA funds. There's an increased expenditure for contract labor services by $250,000. The significance of those funds, we have our code compliance folks doing work, and when they do their work, they also need funds because from time to time, we do get some orders to demolish some things. And if the property owner can't afford to pay for it, then the city is required to pay for it, and then we'll put a lien on the property. And in this case, we were able to identify $250,000 in interest from ARPA funds. So that we can fund some of the work that our code compliance folks have to do. Give you two examples. There's an old nursing home on Love Street that's been in disrepair and not sold to the community. We've been going through that process. So we've even gone out for bids on that process. The demolition is really not that expensive. It's the removal of the asbestos that's about $70,000. But in our budget, I think we probably budgeted about $35,000 for demolition. So we don't have enough funds to really be able to demolish it. So we're asking you to approve this amendment as a part of that. Then the other piece of property that I'd like to identify, if you go up North Main Street, and you get to Paris Street and you look, there's a beautiful old home right there to your right. And you look at it, it has the nice columns and all. But if you look to the right, you see that the roof is caved in. And that is property that we'll probably have to take down. We don't have an order at this point. But again, these funds would help us to be able to remove some of those eyesores that we have. And it's just unfortunate that they've fallen into disrepair. But the budget amendment is so that we can adjust the budget and we can authorize the appropriation of funds. It also deals with the expenditures that we've incurred that we need to make adjustments so we have a balanced budget. So we do recommend approval of the budget amendment 2.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council?
Mr. Mayor, I was just clarifying, so the interest doesn't have as many restrictions on it as the ARPA funds?
No, not at all. The interest is available for us to do.
Okay, the city needs.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Penny. Any further discussion by council? Okay. All right, with that being said, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, let's move down to agenda item 8, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2025-08, a resolution reestablishing the Downtown Statesboro Incentives Program. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, for a number of years, you've had incentives to try to incentivize redevelopment and businesses to come to our downtown area. However, those incentives have a time period. And in 2022, you renewed those incentives, and those incentives will expire sometime like in June. So what we're doing this morning is asking you just to renew those incentives again for 3 more years, and so we recommend approval of continuation of the incentives. Alan would very much appreciate you doing that so he can try to lure people into the downtown area.
Well, Alan has been doing a great job, him and his team. And I think Alan, I don't want to bring up no bad memories, but there was a lot of empty days in 2018 in downtown. Today, we don't have that issue anymore. So thank you to you and your team for all the work that you guys are doing to help move our community forward. Council, any discussion in regards to that?
It looks like mainly the incentives are waiving some fees for new businesses, that sort of thing.
Right.
Thank you.
A couple things like tap fees. I think we set a limit of $25,000 for that. Maybe some building permit fees. I think for some businesses that might have alcohol licenses, we might waive the license fee for that operation.
Just to encourage more down.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Let's move down to agenda item 9, Consideration of a motion to approve the application submitted by Evolve LLC for funding under the Security Enhancement Incentive Program in the amount of $7,000 subject to fulfillment of all eligibility requirements. Mr. Penny, if you give us a little bit of insight on that.
Mayor, members of the council, if you remember, I think we did use ARPA funds. We had, we utilized about $70,000 to $80,000 for security enhancement to try to incentivize property owners to implement cameras, gates, things of that nature for security purposes. So in this case, we have, this is Morris Heights, the ownership of Morris Heights is seeking $7,000 so that they can add some additional cameras. Now, just note, for the record, you approve up to 50% of the cost. This is not 100% grant. And in this case, I think the bid is like $13,985,000. $13,985. So it's just under $14,000. So we're asking you to approve that $7,000, but we will not spend more than 50% of the cost to install those cameras.
Okay.
And so at that amount of money, very easily, they might have something that might push them over $14,000. But again, we would not expend more than $7,000. We do recommend approval of that $7,000 grant.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council?
It sounds like this has been a good program. We've had someone take advantage and make neighborhoods safer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any further discussion by council?
This is for
More.
4 cameras.
4 or 5 cameras.
It is 4. I'm looking on the map here, and it just shows where these 4 cameras will take over the blind spots. So
Yeah. Yeah, and if y'all remember correctly, when we did this the first time, those blind spots was conversation back then. So this right here actually addresses that. Yeah. All right. Any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. All right, we want to go down to agenda item 10, consideration of a motion to approve award of contract to Chandler Roofing in the not to exceed amount of $65,000 for roof replacement at the Statesboro Municipal Court. The project will be funded from 2019 SPLOST. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, at the municipal court building, we have some work we need to do on the roof. Some of it is comes from Hurricane Helene. Hurricanes are good about exposing some of your weak spots and the loss of shingles and things of that nature. So we need to repair the roof. So we recommend the award this contract to do that.
Yeah. Okay, any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's go down to agenda item 10, agenda item 11. Consideration of a motion to approve a sole source purchase agreement with RTC Incorporated in the amount of $284,836 for Lakeside Infrastructure Stormwater Flood Control Hardware per project engineer's recommendation. This project is funded from 2013 SPLOST. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, not getting into the technical, because I would be able to, but this equipment is needed for the project, for Lake Sal work. It's a much more expensive project, but this is just a part of that, and we'll deal with the flood control, monitoring, and control of Lake Sal. We hope that we're getting closer to being able to actually spend a large amount of money to deal with that issue at Lake Sal. But we do recommend the award this contract.
All right, thank you. Any discussion by council? Okay. Seeing that there's no discussion, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 12, other business from city council. Is there any other business from city council?
Remind remind everybody, we're planning our performance for the All-American City. We appreciate Dr. Bodkin and all the people who are putting together a package so we can go and show off how great Statesboro is. Go from being one of the 20 best to one of the 10 best.
Absolutely, Mayor said we're gonna win.
That's right. I like it. All right, anything else from council? All right, I do want to take a moment, here, to clarify something within our community. At the last time we got together, if you guys remember, we created a mayoral, ad hoc committee, to address housing instability and homelessness within our community. The purpose of that committee is to actually study housing instability. One of the things that we recognize in our conversation and with our experience here is that we have a lot of families that's dealing with housing transition. So they may be leaving one apartment and maybe get ready to move to another one. But there's a space, there's a gap that's there where they could potentially be without housing. And so we wanted to take a look at that. And then we did not want to look at that without understanding that there is a connection to homelessness that's associated with that. So we wanted to make sure we included that in that group discussion as well as we begin to work to kind of figure out exactly what direction we need to go in. Somehow, out of that conversation or to study and to look at, there's been some misinformation in regards to the city of Statesboro building a homeless shelter in downtown Statesboro. I would just like to say that the city of Statesboro has no plans on building a homeless shelter in downtown Statesboro. This committee's sole purpose is to study, to find out where we are so that we're able to address the needs of our community. It is a little bit disheartening that those statements will be made about a project to work to address some of our most vulnerable people in our community, especially folks that may be going through a difficult time. And so with that being said, I'm going to go out on a limb and speak for council because this is what I've seen this council do since I've been here. They've led with love, but they've also led with intelligence. We don't make any decisions in regards to whatever move the city is going to make without having substantial evidence to support whatever decision that we make. And so with that being said, we want to look at this particular issue because we know it is an issue. We know a lot of families deal with transitional housing issues. And we want to continue to be a city that cares about its people and everyone that comes to visit us as well. So with that being said, we want to clear that up. And I do want to thank Councilmember Barr and Councilwoman Shavers in her absence for taking on the task of being a part of that committee so that we can definitely help some of the most vulnerable people within our community. And I want to say this. The one thing that this council has shown since I've been here and before I've been here is that there is a way to govern where you can help the most vulnerable people in your community and still provide opportunity for those that may not be in those vulnerable positions. You can do both. And I recognize in this politically charged world, people will lead you to believe that you can only do one. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. You can be a government that actually looks out for the most vulnerable people in your community while providing opportunity for business owners and developers that's working to bring the things to our community that we would like to enjoy. You can do both. And so with that being said, council, I want to thank y'all for your unwavering commitment to serving the people of this community. I want to thank the staff for everything that they do. And I want to thank the citizens of Statesboro for being the caring people that you are and recognizing that we all are part of the same village. And if one of us is hurting, all of us is hurting. So with that being said, we want to move on to the next agenda item, which is city manager comments.
Mayor, members of the council, thank you for this opportunity. I have quite a few things to share with you this morning. First thing I want to do is I'd like to introduce our new Director of Public Works and Engineering. I want to ask Brad Dill if he would stand. Brad has been with us 2 weeks now. 2 weeks already. So we're glad to have Brad. I think his mama might be in the audience.
Yeah, concerned citizen, I guess.
She's concerned. But we're glad to have Brad as a part of our team, and thank you, Brad, and your mom for being here as well. But as I recognize Brad, I also want to just take a moment to appreciate Marcos Trejo and David Moyer. As we transition, they carried the load for our city. And so we like to recognize the new, but we also just take a moment to appreciate Marcos and David for the work that they did and they continue to do. That work is so important to ensuring the quality of life for all of our citizens, making sure our garbage trucks are rolling on time. Because if you don't get that out on time, we'll hear about it. So thank you, Marcos, for your leadership, and David as well. Also, as I recognize our new person, after the last meeting, I made an announcement that I wanted to take this opportunity to just share with our public. As city manager, you also have the chore of bringing new people in when that opportunity presents, but you also have the sad part that when people start to decide that it's time for them to go home. And so I just want to recognize Kathy Field. At this point, we're going to have a more formal opportunity, but Kathy, after the last meeting, y'all didn't have anything to do with this. Kathy decided that she was going to call it a day. And so at the end of this month, Kathy will be retiring. And so we wanted to appreciate her and thank her for the 5 years that she's been with the city of Statesboro, because we've accomplished a lot in that 5-year period of time. And so Kathy, thank you for your leadership. And I want to say this, when we hired Kathy, and again, I just appreciate our staff, Justin Williams, who has worked very closely with Kathy, he came to me and just said, thank you, Mr. Kennedy. And so Kathy, I say that is a remarkable, it's a great sign for you that Justin recognized what he could learn from you and how important it was to get the right person and the right fit. So thank you for that. And also, I recognize Steve Hoskins, but Kathy and Steve on the same day that we're going to be celebrating them. So you got in your packet, we're going to have parties in City Hall. Public utilities separate to recognize their years of service, because I think at the end of the month they'll be signing off with it. So just want to take that moment and recognize them. So thank you all for your service. And so if you combine those two, you got almost 90 years of experience. Just going to be walking out the door at the 1st of June.
But we got, and both of them are under 40.
Thanks, John. I really appreciate that.
How many years does Steve have with the city?
36.
36.
years.
Yeah. And Kathy's years, so we can still almost 90 years of service between the two of them.
Wow.
That's
amazing.
So from that, I wanted, Mayor Pro Tem mentioned the All-American City. And so we had our kickoff meeting last night. We got a lot of work to do in order to bring that recognition to Statesboro. But to Dr. Viken, Candace, and Edie Grace, who's the graduate assistant, who's leading our effort, full of energy, and we need that young energy to get us across the finish line. I do just want to take a moment and recognize and appreciate Dr. Marrero, because I think it's important that the council be aware of his commitment and the university's commitment to the All-American City process. Because when the application came and Candace sent it to me, I'm like, we're okay, but we just don't have the time or the staff to commit to it. And they took it on.
Yes.
But that goes along with Dr. Marrero, under Dr. Marrero's leadership, they established the Institute for Vibrant and Engaging Communities. And as a part of that, this is the work that they do. And so, and they're also committing financially to get staff out to Colorado and a number of team members for that effort. So I just think it's important that you be aware that he had the vision along with the staff, that this is something that's really important. And Candace is sending me emails all the time about stuff and ways we can apply for more money. But that is a great asset for the city of Statesboro and Bull County to be able to take advantage of. So I just want to recognize them for that. And let's see, I think that's it. We're almost ready to kick off Youth Connect. And I think that's enough.
Okay, that's a whole bunch of good stuff.
Sure about, didn't mention, that we have openings on youth council.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about youth council, when we first started youth council, we opened it up so folks could, a certain time period. But one, we don't select the youth council members, they self-select. And so anybody can be a member of the youth council, a certain age range. And so we love to have 60 to 100 youth because they're just that important to our community. And we're gonna be taking some youth to Colorado because that's part of the application for the All-American City designation. I have one more thing.
Go ahead.
Y'all set aside about $60,000 for of CARES Act funds, been almost 2 years ago. And we've used those and do Action Pack to assist people with utility bills. And so I got an email from Alexander Smith last week and asked a question. Would we be interested in allowing some of those funds to go toward rental assistance? And so I talked with staff and I said I would bring it to y'all this morning to see if there's an interest in doing that. So we have about $15,000 left of those funds. And so I'm recommending that we allow them to use some for rental assistance. It would be $250 toward a rent payment. There are a lot of folks that are falling on hard times that need assistance. And Mayor, you sometimes email me and say, do we have any funds available for rental assistance? And I say, we just have to go to, we have to go to the United Way. But in this case, these again are CARES Act funds that we have available. And if council is okay with it, we'd like to tell Action Pack that they could use up to $250 to provide rental assistance to those in need, if that's
It's absolutely fine with me. Yeah.
So can we get a motion in that?
Yeah.
So
Councilman.
moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, when you were talking about youth council, but you think about youth commission, and
Yeah.
all these, folks do have to apply.
Yeah, someone literally just texted me saying, I can't download the application on my phone, I need to wait till I get on my laptop. Yes. Yeah, so, yeah, that's Sister Owens, you know, your Sister Owens love the work. So yeah, absolutely. So we definitely want to encourage folks to be a part of our youth commission. And we want to celebrate the work that our young people are doing. And also celebrate what the council and staff and community is doing to invest into our young people. Do we have any public comments at this time? All right. Seeing that there is none, I understand we do have some executive session and personnel. All right, so we want to go to agenda item 15, which is consideration of a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters in accordance with OCGA 50-14-3B. Is there a motion to go into executive session? Is there a second? All those in favor? All right, thank you.